The observation deck of Station Carrick hummed with nervous energy as scientists clustered around holographic displays, their compound eyes reflecting the amber glow of warning lights. Below them in the training arena, 6 Vrexian cubs circled each other with deadly intent. "Another spike in aggression markers," chittered Dr. Zelkoth, his mandibles clicking in distress. "This is the 3rd incident this cycle. If they kill each other before maturity, the entire breeding program fails." Vrexians were apex predators from a death world where survival meant never showing weakness. Their young were engineered by evolution to fight from birth, establishing dominance hierarchies through brutal combat. The Galactic Council had recruited them as elite soldiers, but raising them to adulthood without losses proved nearly impossible. In the arena below, Cub Varric, the largest and most aggressive of the group, launched himself at his nearest rival. His obsidian claws extended a full 6 inches, razor-sharp and dripping with venom. The other cubs scattered, then regrouped, forming temporary alliances that would last only seconds before dissolving into violence again. The sensors embedded throughout the arena measured everything. Heart rates exceeding 400 beats per minute, adrenaline levels that would kill most species, electromagnetic fields generated by their neural activity as they calculated kill trajectories. The data scrolled across screens in crimson warnings. "We've tried everything," Dr. Zelkoth continued, his voice carrying the weight of 6 months of failure. "Pheromone dampeners, neural inhibitors, sedative gases. Nothing works. Their biology simply overrides any external control." "What about the human solution?" asked junior researcher Tick, his voice barely above a whisper. The observation deck fell silent. Every being present turned to stare at Tick. "You can't be serious," Dr. Zelkoth hissed. "Humans are Category 3 Deathworlders themselves. Putting one in with Vrexian cubs would be actually documented to work," Tick interrupted, pulling up classified files on his datapad. "Station Xerxes, Station Polaris, Station Kel 7. In every case where human handlers were assigned to Vrexian cubs, mortality rates dropped to 0. Correlation isn't causation, Dr. Zelkoth argued, but his conviction wavered. "The Council has already approved it," Tick said quietly. "She arrives in 10 minutes. Commander Lyra Dayne stepped off the shuttle with the casual confidence of someone who'd walked into worse situations and lived to tell about it. She was lean and tall by human standards, with dark skin marked by the pale scars of a dozen campaigns. Her eyes, those unsettling forward-facing predator eyes that unnerved so many species, took in the station with a single sweep. "Commander Dayne," Dr. Zelkoth greeted her, trying not to flinch from her gaze. "We appreciate your assistance, though I must formally protest the danger you're being placed in." Lyra smiled, and the doctor's secondary hearts skipped a beat. Humans showing teeth was always disturbing. "I've read the files, Doctor. I know what I'm walking into. The cubs are in a particularly aggressive cycle right now. Varric has already killed 2 juveniles from a previous cohort. Our sensors indicate—" "Your sensors can't measure everything," Lyra said, already walking toward the arena entrance. Dr. Zelkoth and his team scrambled back to the observation deck, sensors focused on maximum sensitivity. They needed to understand what was about to happen. The arena door hissed open. 6 predator cubs froze mid-combat, their heads snapping toward the entrance with terrifying synchronization. Cub Varric stood at the center, his claws still embedded in another cub's shoulder armor, venom dripping. Lyra stepped inside. She didn't run, didn't shout, didn't even raise her hands defensively. She simply walked forward at a steady, unhurried pace. In the observation deck, every sensor began displaying impossible data. "The electromagnetic signatures are dropping," Tick whispered in disbelief. "Heart rates decreasing," another researcher added. "How is that possible?" "They should be escalating toward a kill frenzy." Cub Varric withdrew his claws slowly, his predatory gaze locked on the human. His lips curled back, revealing rows of serrated teeth designed to tear through armored hide. A low growl rumbled from his chest, a sound that had caused full-grown warriors of a dozen species to flee in terror. Lyra kept walking. She stopped 3 meters from Varric, still meeting his eyes without flinching. For 5 heartbeats, neither moved. Then Lyra sat down. She simply dropped into a cross-legged position on the arena floor, her posture relaxed, her hands resting on her knees. "The sensors," Dr. Zelkoth's voice broke. "They're not picking up any threat pheromones. No aggression markers, nothing. It's as if she's simply not registering as a threat. Look at Varric. Tick breathed. The massive cub had lowered himself into a cautious crouch, his claws retracting slowly. One by one, the other cubs did the same, forming a loose circle around the seated human. What is she doing? Dr. Zelkoth demanded. There's no sound. No commands. How is she controlling them? But Lyra wasn't controlling anything. She was simply being present. Humans had evolved on a world where the greatest dangers often came silently, where the rustle of grass might mean death, where learning to read intent and emotion in others was the difference between survival and extinction. They had developed an almost supernatural ability to project calm, to communicate through body language alone, to exist in the presence of predators without triggering attack responses. It wasn't magic. It was millions of years of evolution on a planet that demanded social cooperation even among apex predators. Cub Varric took one step forward, then another. His massive head lowered until his snout was inches from Lyra's face. His breath came in hot huffs that stirred her hair. She didn't move. Slowly, impossibly, Varric settled onto his haunches beside her. The other cubs followed. The sensors still can't explain it, Dr. Zelkoth whispered, his voice full of wonder. There's no measurable mechanism, no chemical signals, no neural interference, nothing our instruments can detect. Lyra sat in the center of a circle of young predators, each capable of tearing her apart in seconds, and they were calm, not sedated, not controlled, simply at peace. Maybe, Tick suggested quietly. Some things don't need sensors to be real. In the arena below, Commander Lyra Dayne reached out slowly and placed her hand on Cub Varric's armored head. The gesture was gentle, almost tender. The fiercest predator in the galaxy closed his eyes and leaned into her touch. The sensors recorded nothing but silence. But anyone watching understood. Humanity's greatest weapon had never been their technology or their violence. It was their ability to stand in the presence of monsters and make them choose peace.